I completely changed how I was posting on Instagram around about 5 or 6 weeks ago, and I'm gonna show you the results. It's not quite what I was hoping for, but this is the importance of testing and measuring on social media. Now, there is no one strategy that works for every single business. Me personally, I don't really care so much about the follower metric anymore. It's a vanity metric, it looks nice, it's cool when people see your profile. I wouldn't care if I had 500 followers, as long as my income was still the same. Now, I've realized over the past couple of months, it's actually much easier to create a customer. They maybe love the product beyond they actually care about you than it is to create a follower. So here's what happened. Now, you might see guys like Alex Hormozi making these amazing intricate reels with stuff moving about and floating heads and all these real crazy interactions. It was something that I was really interested in. Now, previously, my reels would get somewhere between 10 and at an absolute push on Instagram, 65k views. Now, some of these would be like competitions and stuff like that. It's maybe not super fair to say that that's normal value-driven content, but a lot of this in here is what I would call lifestyle content. Cars, flying, holidays, stuff like that. So it is a little bit easier to watch. Now, just so you understand, this is something that I would recommend for loads of business owners if you don't currently have a content schedule, is that I generally have a content schedule of somewhere 3 main page posts per week is what I try to keep up with, at least 2 of them being videos, and around about 5 stories every single day. This is nowhere near as hard as you think it is, by the way. It's super easy. Take a photo of a coffee, breakfast, meeting, steering wheel, don't care what it is, we're just trying to stay active and get more eyes on the page. So this was kind of what I was used to, between 10 and 65k, 10 being disappointing. I'd be unhappy with 10, but this type of content could literally be me like this, talking a little bit, an edit from one of our webinar series, an edit from one of our events. It could be any type of content. I just thought it wasn't quite engaging enough. With the way TikTok and stuff is going just now, and by the way, it's a whole other video for me that I'm gonna do after this about why I've deleted TikTok and all these different things, but that creator economy of short form content that is just so crazily engaging because everyone's dopamine receptors are completely fried, that makes them stay on, was definitely worth it. So I thought to myself, okay, let's try a new style of editing. Let's make these videos insane. Let's make them super loud, noisy, jumping about, better captions, Photoshop edits, all this kind of stuff. Now, firstly, I thought the videos looked amazing. I thought they looked really, really good. I was actually getting my team and different people who aren't in our creative sections messaging me saying, Richard, these videos are amazing. But just because you like them doesn't strictly mean your audience is gonna love them. So I decided to up my level of content. So I decided to go from posting somewhere around 3 main page posts per week to doing around about 5. So we'd have our 5 main page posts per week. So I've tested this over the last 6 weeks or so. But what I actually did was I decreased the level of stories. I was putting out somewhere around 3 stories per day. So I've literally basically swapped these 2 numbers previously, 3 and 5, now 5 and 3. Now my story views stayed nice and high. For my size of account, it's about 25,000 followers. I was getting a lot of good views on my stories. If you do like 10, 15, 20 stories a day, especially if you're doing Q&As and stuff, it can start to really slow down your engagement because people just drop off. Now, straight away, when I started posting these videos, I found that there was an issue. I was going from previously 10k being really bad. Uploaded my first video, it probably done 9k, right? So I'm thinking to myself, oh, that's not quite what I wanted, and I'm gonna let you into a little hack that did help this very slightly, but not enough for me to justify pushing this forward, and I'm gonna give you the alarming statistic at the end. Whilst you're watching this video, if you are enjoying it, please make sure to click the subscribe button down below. Over 80% of the people that watch our videos on YouTube here aren't actually subscribed to my channel, so it would mean a lot to me if you click that subscribe button, stick along for the ride, and get a lot of great value in our business content. Because when we're building, different types of content, we're testing stuff on our social media, we need to be realistic on whether it's going well or it's going bad. There is no point me talking all the time about how we're growing this and we're getting this ROAS and we're committing this revenue and blah, blah, blah. Sometimes this stuff goes wrong. That is the importance of testing and measuring, not just going in full bore and committing to something for a year, 2 years and having it actually ruin your social media presence. So 9k, first one, oh, I didn't quite like it. Now the next one, whoa. We're talking like 2,000 views. I'm sitting back and I'm thinking, okay, this is the best videos I've ever done. Now, when I was speaking a minute ago, what I really missed out on in this content was this content here was super value driven. Like this kind of stuff here that you guys will commit to watching for 6, 7, 8 minutes on YouTube because it's got value. But on Instagram, straight disconnect from my audience. Because me now, yeah, maybe I've polished up my act a little bit, but me before, McLaren, Rolls Royce, crazy flights, holidays, all that stuff. I really think that's why people will follow me beyond the business information that comes along with that. So the lifestyle stuff being taken away, yeah, that created a big issue inside of my social media ecosystem. But I just think that people weren't valuing the business-based content, and I actually think that we overkilled with the amount of editing that we're doing. We posted probably 10 of these videos with an average viewership of about 7,000. We've still got probably 12 of these videos to post, and I'm still committing to testing that until the end. But here is my one trick. If you're going to listen to one thing in this video, do this, and make sure you repeat this on all of your different platforms as well, right? So I am going to be, if you're watching me, I'm going to be going back to doing a lot more of this stuff here. Now, when you create a video on social media, the platforms really love if it's native content. So I think Instagram was having a problem that these videos, I believe, I wasn't editing them, were being edited in a mixture of maybe something like some Adobe system, but they were being finished on CapCut, right? Who owns CapCut? TikTok owns CapCut, right? So I think Instagram were looking at that and almost tracking and feeling unhappy that had been edited on a non-native bit of editing software. It wasn't edited or tweaked on Instagram, so here's what I started doing. Now I'd pretend I was uploading the video to a story, right? It would be here, ready, you know, post to your normal story, post to your close friends. I'd have it here as a story. Here's me talking stuff, giving information, all that kind of stuff. I put it on my story. What I would do is I would put whatever piece of writing there on the story and I would drag it off to the side. So that piece of writing was here, you've never seen it. Then I would click up here, I would resave the story, then I would upload it onto my main page. Now this might sound like overkill, something really weird, but what that then done was helped Instagram understand the video was native. That there alone increased my views on some of them to 13,000, 14,000, but our average still finished around about 8K. The worst part, over the last 6 weeks, I've actually lost following for the first time in consistently a very, very long time. We've went down by approximately 500 followers from 25.7 thousand followers, close to 25.8, down to 25.3. Now, I've also been cleaning out my following. I follow way too many people, accounts that are dead, that are totally pointless. So that's probably got something to do with it as well. But this here, views massively down, following massively down. But the funny thing is, in terms of our ads that we are running, the revenue, way up, way up. This social media game, it can be so confusing sometimes. Now for me, I am heavily focused on this part, not so much the followers and the views, but that is important. It's an integral part to our top of funnel for our business. So I'm going to be going back to test more lifestyle content, more simple video content, different styles of editing until I've got this perfectly. The end result of this is, maybe it works for Alex Hormozi, maybe it works for, what's that kid's name with a funny lisp? Devin Jatto. Maybe it works for all these different people. It doesn't strictly mean that it works for Richard Dixon.